Really good practice. Our guys have come in and, during the bye week, main thing is we want to get our guys healthy, and we've been able to do that. Ricky Wagner's practice last couple of days should be full go with us. For everything next week, all the other guys getting themselves healthy. I think we've used the bye week well. We'll give them tomorrow. They'll come in the morning, have an early lifting group and a conditioning session afterwards, and we'll give them the rest of Friday and Saturday off, come back, and we're ahead of schedule in Indiana. I've gotten 2 quality prep days with them. Just the problems that they bring with their up-tempo offense and for our defense to get that look and simulate it. But happy with where they're at. Needed a bye week. I think it was a really critical week for us to kind of regroup and attack the month of November. So with that, open it up.
You mentioned Indiana's up-tempo offense. Are you doing with your scouts similar to what you did against Oregon?
The advantage that we have this week, Jeff, is we really taught their offense to them this week, and then now it's better for our scouts, and it's going to be better to to up-tempo it now even more. So we had that basic install on Wednesday. Today was a little bit more up-tempo, and then Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday will be really fast tempo.
Who you use, like two
multiple
groups?
scouts.
Okay.
Yep.
You mentioned on the radio a linebacker got to give up football.
AJ Fenton. I'm sorry. Yeah, AJ Fenton. Right before fall camp had basically a back issue that required surgery, and somewhat similar to some of our guys have had in the past, and unfortunately. The surgery didn't work as well as we'd wanted, and kind of came back. So he's currently not scheduled for surgery, but it's something that might be in his future. And we just kind of put the decision in his hands. He's been mulling it over, and last Sunday he just came in, and he's going to move forward. Fortunately for us, he's a really good student. He's already going to graduate in spring and kind of move on to the next phase of his life. But it's a tough deal for AJ, one of our favorites.
Coming out of spring, did he seem like he was going to be heavily involved?
Yeah, I think he's a guy, Tom, that we actually talked about the possibility of moving positions, and I was really strong with him that I thought he could play linebacker, and he really started to come on last fall during the course of the season, and really him and Coach Boo hit it off well, was playing exceptionally well at the, he never really played linebacker until he came here. He was a safety and a quarterback, very intelligent, high energy, high motor guy, and had really, his dad had some back problems, but he hadn't, and just kind of developed out of nowhere, but one of those things that reminds us every day. I told our team on Tuesday to get around and love them up. It's a reminder that our game can be very, very cruel at times.
Your linebacker depth taking a little bit of a hit with Derek no longer there. You haven't had to use it a lot. Though.
Yeah, no, and guys have come in and done a nice job. I thought we had a big development practice on Sunday and a little bit of one on Tuesday. Derek Watt, I'm not Derek Watt, Derek Landish, and it's good to get Derek Watt out of there. There's like one Derek linebacker, but Landish and Connor O'Neill really had some nice preparation. I think those guys, someone's going to have to step in that role next year, obviously, with the departure of Mike Taylor. So it's good to see those guys getting reps.
What kind of spirits does Joel Stave have right now? Have you seen him lately? Talk to him?
It's difficult. I go back to Tuesday was the first time we were really out there on the field, and he kind of just was standing there, and he'd kind of take it on. He's like, Coach, I've never had to sit before, and this is a growing process that he unfortunately has to go through. I jumped on him. He's always got a ball in his hand, and he's kind of flipping the ball around over there with his left hand. And I said, buddy, you're all kind of connected. You move your left arm, it's still connected to the right arm. And he's like, I'm sorry, Coach. And we got to be cautious. He's so aggressive. I'm afraid we just want to let him heal, especially these first 4 to 6 weeks.
Have you seen more confidence in both quarterbacks?
Yeah, I thought both of them, especially today, Kurt and Danny both had a real good day. They're obviously competing, and you can see it kind of brings the best out of people. And the kids are aware of it as well. I think our offensive players in particular. So hopefully that'll keep moving forward, and we'll move forward in the next week and see where we're at. As far as like offense, there's really not for where we're at and what we've been training, the quarterback's going to be different. We don't want our offense to really change, so that's one thing that I've seen really come out of it.
So you're going to Indy this weekend, Indianapolis for?
Who, me?
Yeah, is that true?
I'm going recruiting this weekend. I can't speak to anything about where I'm going. 5 o'clock tomorrow if you want to join me. 5 a.m., 4 different states. End up somewhere far away from here. Hopefully a little warmer. It's kind of great time now too with all this playoffs going on around across the country. It's kind of a fun time to have this bye week at this time for recruiting. It's really pretty opportunistic for us.
Mentally, when you guys walked out at Saturday's game, how mentally draining was
tough? To lose. We've lost 3 games by 9 points. We're 9 points away from hopefully we still going to have a very, very good season, but you're 9 points away from 3 different victories. It puts you in an elite world of college football, but we haven't been able to do it. It seems like every time this year we begin to make a stride, we get our feet knocked out from under us. And, you know, these guys have been very resilient. I was very emphatic with our coaches on Sunday and Monday to come out and have some high-tempo, high-energy practices. We might have just had our best practice of the fall. We ended up with good on good, doing some move-the-ball situations, and was really, really excited about the way our guys handled it. And, you know, all we can do is move forward. We got a 3-week season. For us, the way it lays out, obviously, to go to Indiana and play a team that kind of controls the destiny of who goes to Indianapolis, and then obviously play 2 teams that can win the Leaders Division but can't play in a game is very unique. You know, the schedule was set, 3 years ago almost, and for it to kind of lay out for the way it does is a very unique scenario that no one probably could envision at the time they were made.
I think when you were talking about these up-tempo offenses earlier in the year, you talked about an injury concern overall. Is that with more plays because of that?
I think someone asked me, Tom, because if I'm not mistaken, Coach at Alabama, Saban talked about how it kind of changed the game and moved ourselves forward. And, you know, there is, I think, it changes the game. I mean, it changes the game. It changes the amount of reps that kids get, the amount of recovery that they have. And but I know this, the teams that run it use it for a reason. They're usually, basically doing it to their advantage. They're not doing it because of anything that they expect to have success. So I know the teams that, just watching Indiana on film, the teams that really had a difficult time, not to overstate the obvious, but just getting lined up and ready to play them. There's times where they're snapping the ball and, all the kids' eyes are on the sideline trying to get a call. So it's fortunate for us to, I think, like Jeff said at the beginning, we had the Oregon prep from a year ago where it was the fastest tempo we've ever seen. And really in that game, we handled that part of it very, very well. We didn't handle certain segments with their speed, but we didn't give anything up because of bad alignments.
Would you play more guys defensively because of it?
Yeah, if you could get guys in. I think that was Nick's point was, if your opponent, the way the NCAA rule reads, so 11 guys are out there and they snap the ball. If they don't sub anybody, they literally can snap the ball as fast as they can. If they sub people off the field, then you're allowed to sub people on. But if that doesn't happen, or if you don't have the right personnel to go out there, and it's very clear with the officials too, they have to kind of keep that in track too. Is somebody going off from their sideline, so someone could come on from our sideline? It's difficult to sub against those type of offenses.
What do you hope the guys get out of a mostly free Friday and a free Saturday?
Well, first and foremost, take care of themselves. I mean, this is a time of the year. Obviously, Freak Fest was last week. Thank goodness it wasn't this week. I'm sure there'll be some type of events this weekend. But our guys are pretty conscientious. 3 things we always talk about is rehydration, recovery, and just trying to re-energize your body. We wanted to take this week. We didn't beat them up. We held them out, had high tempo practices, but the recovery aspect is very, very important this week to come out a little bit on Sunday and have a jump on Indiana. And we'll do a little bit more on Sunday than we normally do. So I told them just sit back. There's a lot of good college football games. Every team that we're playing is playing this week. Everybody that's ahead of us on our schedule is going to be on TV this weekend. So have an opportunity to take a little bit of that in.
A lot of the guys know that if you guys win next weekend, you're going to Indianapolis.
I would say they all know that. That would be they'd have to have their head in the sand if they didn't know that already. Plus, I don't. As a head coach, I put things out there that are real. And obviously that's one of them, and the 2 teams after them are in our way of trying to win a leaders title as well. So I think there's a lot of different scenarios out there, but the only thing we can control is the one we're in. All good?
Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
You too.